This is Monster Energy Supercross 3, the official video game. So we are on Xbox One X. This is enhanced, but it's not pushing towards 4K. It does have a better resolution though, and it does have support for HDR, and it does look quite great. So this is obviously a motocross game and the latest entry in the series. A notable thing at the start is the customization for characters has been expanded upon, and now you can have female riders, so that's kind of cool, male or female, whatever you want to do. Great, so at the menu here, this is my third time reviewing this. I think I've done videos for all of them, and I do some of their spin-offs too. Anyways, we got career, we got single events, we got time attack. Compound is the open world sort of exploration area. There's championships, and we've also got challenges, multiplayer, Xbox Live options, and mini games and stuff that you can do in Xbox Live. If you want to compete with other people, you can set up matches, create lobbies, do custom things, or you could be the race director and you get to kind of directly monitor and handle how races are dealt and penalties. You can handle everything like that, so that's kind of a neat option. And then the create option, so complete track editor, which we'll show off a little bit of later. Bike options for tweaking the bikes and everything like that. It's kind of weird that some of the numbers are taken. I had to be a weird number. Usually I'm 17, I had to be 117, so that was a little bit disappointing. And usually there's a bumpin' soundtrack in the background, but we turn that off because copyright issues. So single event, 3 different options. We're going to jump into the 250. And you can see you get to kind of select from a collection of riders. You get a sort of a level over throughout the game and everything like that. Doesn't matter, don't really care, just that. And then you select the track. So there's a lot of official tracks that are present in the game, a lot of different options for racing, and then you got compound tracks. Trying to show them all off here. And then there's online tracks, so you can like download tracks that other people make, so that's kind of cool. We're going to do a bit of the, I think the Denver one's pretty, we'll do Vegas because that's a little bit different. And then you can adjust the race options. I do the short ones. I really wish they would allow options for like just a quick lap and everything like that, because it does take quite a long time just to do even like an individual race, and I just like to jump in and play quick matches on levels sometimes. So here we go, we're getting ready to start off. They got cool cinematics at the start, a great sense of atmosphere, announcers, everything like that. Really well developed tracks, and they've done some nice refinements to the overall experience this time around. We're going to jump in so we don't have somebody chatting, and we can get to the racing. So these are large scale races, a lot of people going on. The game does have dedicated servers now for multiplayer, so if that's something that you have been wanting, they have it, so that's kind of nice. There's now co-op in the compound, so the compound is the sort of free roaming area I was talking about earlier. So you can now have co-op, that's kind of nice. We're going to show that off after this, and then after that we're going to show off the track editor. So we're not going to do the whole race, we're going to do part of it because time is something that does matter, and I want to show off as much of the experience as possible so that you get a full kind of cohesive idea of what this game does provide. So there's the guide kind of option. You can see that. You can of course tweak how that is if you get knocked down. They do have a rewind feature, which I do feel is an essential part of any racing title in the modern era. You don't have to use those, you can turn those off in the settings too, but I really do feel that they're important because they just make racing games, for me at least, a little bit more enjoyable. But of course the option is there to toggle it if that's something you're too good for. So a big thing to note, the past entries were actually pretty good. I thought they were well done, very serviceable racing titles, but for this one they've done work in regards to refining the physics, the air, and everything like that, just to make the bikes handle a little bit more realistically, a little bit better, and I think that kind of has worked out for the best. It really does feel a lot better, just the tension and the handling and everything like that on the bikes, as I totally mess up a bunch of times, but it's actually cool doing the flashbacks. Well, I guess I don't know what I think they're called, flashbacks, the rewinds, because you can kind of see how the bike riders, the other AI, are racing along, everything like that, and bumping into each other. It's just like a grimy, dirty, messy game, and I kind of love that aspect of it. So anyways, yeah, handling way better in this one. It wasn't too bad before, but really it feels a lot better to play. It handles a lot nicer. You really feel the cuts into the dirt. What was that? It's just like fell backwards. Kind of undermines what I'm saying, but no, seriously, it does feel a lot better to handle. I think it's a little bit more dynamic in regards to kind of how you're interacting and everything like that. It feels a lot better. They definitely did some good work in regards to that aspect of the experience. I also think that the visuals do look a little bit better. They have new sort of components and designs to things. Even the far backdrop and everything like that. It feels quite immersive for the experience, and there's a good number of tracks present and lots of advertising. I don't like that when you hit objects, though, that you like go flying. I guess maybe in real life you would too. I don't know. I feel like they need to have some more leniency there. But one aspect I really love about these racing titles, like these motocross ones, is like the huge pools of bikes. And I'm pools as in like, you know, players, quantity of players. There's just so much like action going on. There's so many bikes like rolling around. And then to the side, they've got, like, you know, these wave flag guys, and then they've got people taking pictures in the stands, and it just kind of really, I think, captures the atmosphere of the event quite well. And, you know, this isn't really something I'm into, but because it's a game, I'll check it out and everything, and I think it's quite well done. They just really nail the aesthetics in the world. And as you can see, kind of, like, things popping up, I'm getting, like, details on performance and everything like that, so that's a cool aspect. And I think the HUD is very well done. It's very clean. It's very pleasing. You get the full details of, like, you know, your positioning, the miles per hour you're doing, so that you can better line up when you're doing your jumps and your landing. And then they've got a nice little thing in the bottom left. Honestly, that could be a little bit cleaner and sharper. It's nice to have, and I guess it gives you just a good indication of where you particularly are on the track. But I think it could be a little bit sharper on the 4K. It's a little fuzzy looking, so I don't know if that's going to be maybe like a day one patch. I am playing pre-launch, but I do know there's like a day one package. But that being said, it's quite well done, and I think it's a good point for us to switch over to the compound mode at this point. Great, so this is the free roaming. It's kind of just a great area for you to basically practice, sort of hone your skills, play around, and again, you can do this in co-op, which is nice, a good addition, so you can kind of fool around with a buddy if you'd like to. But yeah, it's just kind of a nice, free, open area that you get to explore, you get to drive around in, go fast, go slow, get a feeling for jumps, handling, and everything like that. And it is like, there's a nice sense of scale and a good sense of environment too, because you get like these more hardcore traditional bumps that you get to sort of practice on, and then you can go and you can do sort of like, I guess, event type things here. And then there's also more of a natural sense of structuring too. In the first area we were at, there was like a nice sort of like setup zone, and I think the detail and the quality in that aspect of the environment is just really well done, and you're just kind of like off-roading it. I went up the hill, it's funny. But yeah, you can kind of just get like a feel for the different environments. Ooh, the reflection, that's nice. So yeah, it's a neat area. I mean, I spent some time driving around in here and taking a look at it just to get an idea of what it had, but yeah, there's obviously limits too. It's just kind of a good testing area, a good practice area, learning the game, or just fooling around. Do you like the game? You want to drive around and have a good time just testing out what you can do as a racer? I think it's a pretty good option for that. It's a good set of space, and I am just like flopping over. I really love the cutting into the dirt in this one, especially with like some of the deformation in this seems to actually stick around for a bit, so that's kind of really cool. See the bike go flying, and then the physics of the character. But yeah, just like cutting into that dirt is just really cool. You could see that track. I don't know if you saw that quickly, but you could see the previous track cutting that I had done from driving up there the first time. I think that's really neat. The deformation dirt tech is definitely, I think, improved a bit. I don't know. It's just really nice to see in this one. So we're going to switch over to the track editor so you get a glimpse of what that aspect of the game is like. But yeah, the construction area there, but that yellow thing over there, the detail looks really good in it. Seriously, they've really well done on that. Ow. So this is the track editor here, so you're going to get to pick your starting module from which you can adjust, you can rotate, you can tighten, you can change things. And you do get to pick the template of the outer world too, which is kind of nice if you want to do that. We're just kind of showing off what you can do with this area, the starting spot. And then you place that down, and then you can resize it afterwards. You can change the shape of it. Do not want to go back to the main menu. And then we can start adding pieces to it. So we're going to do that, and then we can do like, I don't know, we can do some like weird curves and stuff like that. So you get the gist of it, doing weird additions to it. But I kind of put the starting area really poorly on, you know, just in regards to where it is, because it's gonna like wrap back right in there, which you obviously can't do. And then you can just kind of delete. We could go back, we could do like yeah, we did not put the starting point in a good spot, but getting the gist of it. And you can do like whole shots, you do like smaller thingies. I'm not gonna pretend to even really know too much about the sport track areas, but they've added a lot of new things for the recent year, just in regards to keeping up with things. So that's the straight track, and then we could do like a little tight curve, but you can delete it right away if you don't like what you're doing. See, that's bad. We want probably more of like a straight one. Yeah, we kind of do that. And then you're actually able to test it out after you've kind of got it started, everything like that. So I think it's kind of a cool area. I just wanted to quickly show it off and give you a little bit of a tease of it. Great, so we're getting ready for another race here. I hope I showed off the track editor alright. I'm just kind of going through it quickly. I don't want to do like a full tutorial on it, but just giving you an idea. Basically carried over from last one, refined a bit, adjusted. That's a lot of the game. So we're going to show off a bit of this race, and then we're going to do one more quick event race part of both of them, just so you get an idea of the different variations in regards to the visuals and the style of the game and the experience a little bit better. But yeah, it's generally, jeez, that was just bad. Generally, this is just an improvement over the last one. I think they've done some good things, taken some big strides in regards to enhancing the experience for players, making it feel better, making it handle better, you know, the modes, expanding on the content, the editor. And it's just kind of like a year-on-year build, and I'm very pleasantly surprised with what they've been able to achieve with this, because I didn't necessarily think that I would be coming back year after year to kind of like cover the games, but now they're just sort of like a thing that I've been doing, so it's kind of neat to see the evolution, because it was alright the first year, and then, you know, better the second one, and now it's like, yeah, they've actually put in a good effort to refine things and enhance it further. And I mean, obviously, it might not necessarily be something that you justify as a jump over from the last game if you're really into the series, but if you are, I think it is actually a worthy evolution. For the title, wow, I am just like messing up. But I do think they've done a good job in regards to refining the gameplay, making the bikes handle better, keeping the action frenzied, creating an immersive and sort of realistic feeling biking environment, capturing the essence of this racing event, having tons of players out there, well, you know, racers and everything like that, having the championship mode, having the time attack, having a lot of different options for playing. I'm not sure how they're gonna really push things outwards from this point. Maybe more like sort of weird side mini game modes or something like that. I don't know, but it's not for me to deal with. I just play them. But yeah, it's quite fun. It offers a lot of options for playing by yourself locally, playing online with others, competing, gaining points, leveling up, you know, unlocking different bike types and different things for your bikes. Jeez, I am having a hard time on this track. But yeah, really cool, distinct offerings for the initial bike designs, and then you know, you can make your own tracks if you'd like to, if you're into that sort of thing, or you can be like me and just kind of play tracks that other people have created online. So that kind of offers a little bit more of an expansion to the content of the game, is the fact that you can sit there and, you know, you're continuously getting new content based on what others have created for you in the game. So I think that's kind of cool. And it seems they're going a little bit more DLC-ish in terms of content, but we're going to switch over to another track so we can show off another race type. So I thought it might be fun to finish with a user-created map that's currently available pre-launch. Good little conclusion to this one. But yeah, I think this is actually a really well-done racing title. It captures the spirit of the event quite well. It's a weird thing to have been given a series this generation, but I've quite enjoyed the games. I look forward to seeing what they're doing. I assume would be with the next generation consoles in the future, but yeah, they've got all the core mechanics and things that I would hope for. They've refined a lot of things. The game handles and feels a lot better. They've got all the little features and everything that I would expect. The visuals are fantastic. They look great. I love seeing the look of the characters as they get like dirtied up, and the bikes and everything like that. Jeez, I get not to catch a break on this. And they've got, of course, different difficulty options depending on how good you are. Tons of different modes and ways to play if you're more of a creative person. Unlike myself, you'll go out there and you'll make your own maps, which are kind of cool, like whatever this person has created here. So that offers extra little value to the overall package. And then, you know, you've got like your championship modes, and you've got your competitions you can do, and you've got just like a really good variety of content and challenges and racing options. Like, you know, it very much is a unique sort of game. Woo! And it definitely does capture the element of a large-scale race of this particular type, seeing all those fans out there, seeing all of the other riders competing with you, hitting them with your bikes, them hitting each other with their bikes, the dirt being cut up, the aesthetics, the sleek look. And I mean, they capture all the little things too, the advertisements, you know, the little tiny breaks along this. I'm trying to think of what those are, like they're not sandbags, are they? You know, the things that they say Oakley on them right now. I'm trying to think of what they're called, little bags that are like, you know, on the edges of the track, but you get what I mean. I think aesthetically, visually, and gameplay-wise, they capture, you know, the experience of this quite well. And I look forward to, I'm assuming the next one will be like GP or something like that. So they usually do a few different releases of the bike titles throughout the year, and I look forward to what is next, and hopefully doing a fourth one down the road too, because I do actually have a pretty good time driving around in these ones and racing, and I like what they've basically done with this thus far. I mean, it's coming back alive. It's a very different sort of racing title. It kind of brings me back a little bit to the ATV versus MX or something. You know, those old titles back in the day when those were a big thing. But focusing on the bikes specifically and presenting a pretty good time. I mean, like, this is really cool, and it expands your gameplay a lot, being able to just easily play a map that someone else has created, and getting some different sort of challenge or unique aspect to it. And I hope they continue to expand upon it in terms of their offerings for this aspect of the game, because I think user-created content's a big thing in regards to keeping people interested. But past that, you know, again, you've got the sort of campaign you can roll through, well, career, I guess. Time trials, single-player quick matches with lots of maps and customization. Then you can do the compound, which can be played by yourself with a pound. There's lots of customization for the character, so generally a lot of modes, a lot of content, a lot of things to do. And of course, racing action. I was going to drive off into the sunset kind of there. Oh yeah, here's a little bit of a bonus dirty, disgusting racing one, because I always like to have one of these in there just so you can really see the muck and the grime and the dirt and everything like that, which I think is One of the coolest parts of this type of racing is the fact that it can get so extreme and dirty, and and I also think Rain's a really good test for pushing the limits of racing titles, because it adds a little bit of an extra effect, not only in terms of like the splashing going on your screen, but also the way that certain calculations are handled for like the muck and everything, and the interactions of players. It's like an extra stress on top of everything, and I think they kind of nail that, quite honestly. Yeah, visually quite cool.